Okay, so I would like to talk a little bit more about the up close zoom in of the Thoth mirrored image, along with the non zoomed in version. Okay, um, we're going to start with the zoomed in version because you can see, the staff is being held on either side. Now, on Ancient Aliens, they did touch on these staff gods all around the world. What I think they're misinterpreting is these being staffs, because another name for a staff would be a pole. And in this mirrored image, you see two poles. So I believe either staff slash pole represents the two poles of the earth. Because if you look at the non zoomed in image, mirrored image of Thoth, you can see what looks like volcanic activity or something coming from below the earth, underneath the pyramid, which, again, with the land of chems theory and all these other things, just the ancient machining technology, if you think about it, we're developing AI robots now. These are going to be our lifeline when we go out into space. You know what I'm saying? Because human space travel is very difficult. You know what I'm saying? However, if you have an AI powered robot that can be controlled from Earth, you can go vast distances, I'm sure. So, that being said, it's quite relatively possible and plausible that other life forms out in the galaxies, the universe, would probably approach it in the same way by sending out AI powered robots that they can control in some way. This could be a great explanation for how all these things around the planet were actually done. You know, um, again, somewhere, I'm not going to say where because I don't know, but my belief is that if my theory is correct, an AI powered robot technology, ancient slash whatever, is responsible for this, they were smart enough to create a time capsule of themselves somewhere. Because I believe if you look at the above diagram of these, like the Giza Plateau, and I'm not just talking about the pyramids, I'm talking about a grid of all the sites around the pyramids, everything. You get the same thing in South America. They look like the chipboards inside of computers and, our technology today. I mean, they even did a segment on that again in Ancient Aliens where they touched on the Avenue of the Dead and the comparison to a CPU board. And like I said, perhaps maybe if we align, maybe each one of these temple sites is a component for something we need to build, to put together, to either give us the information we need or guide us in the right direction for the AI powered robots that we need to create. I mean, there's a vast number of possibilities, but I think this needs looked at with fresh eyes, open minds, and outside of the box. I mean, in light of the recent news of the discovery of a new chamber inside the pyramid along, I believe that's the Great Pyramid, and then the Pyramid of Khafre, they're saying that they found these structures deep underneath the pyramid. And in this mirrored image, you clearly see something deep underneath the pyramid, you know? And actually did this in 2015. So to me, this is not new news. This is confirmation of what I already discovered. I've been trying to get people to listen to me about this for years. I have emailed these photographs to, I tried to, anyways. I don't know if they received them, but I tried Giorgio from Ancient Aliens. I tried, Chris Dunn. I tried all these guys, Nick Pope. I did what I could do, try to get this stuff out there. But there's just, like I said, is it possible that this repository, this time capsule, this of these AI robots, this AI technology, or whatever it is, could that be what's underneath the pyramid? I mean, the possibilities are limitless. If you actually look at how long it takes for the Earth to accumulate dirt to cover an object, for that object to gain depth inside of the ground, and the amount of time it takes, granted, this is a desert and there's a lot of sand. You got to ask yourself, because 100 years ago, this stuff was all buried. They had to dig it out. You know what I mean? The stuff we can see above ground today. You know what I mean? And there's still more below ground. You know what I mean? They may think they're trying to protect people by not giving them the truth, but they're doing more damage than good. I mean, it's more than apparent something, you hear experts on television day in and day out saying, we couldn't do this if we tried. Or we could do this, but it'd be really expensive and take a hell of a long time. You know what I mean? And if you look at the way society and mankind is, we look for easier ways to do things. Do we not? I mean, the remote control, no more getting up, changing channels, the clapper, on and so on, smartphone, it just goes on, and Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, you name it, we got it. We don't like cables, we need Wi-Fi now. So, point being is, we look to technology for this. Kind of like the Jetsons, maybe, I'm sure there's some rich people around the world that do have servant robots running around their house. I mean, people got Roombas all over doing their vacuuming. It's just a matter of time, folks. It's just a matter of time. And people need to wake up and realize this. These things are not coincidental. No way, no how.